What is the reality of street vendors in the streets of Nairobi? What is their significance in the overall economy of the country? What are they dealing with? Are the street vendors protected by the law? If so, why are they in constant conflict with the city government or the local government?
Okay, they are running away. What? They are running away because the county council usually stops them from selling from the street like this. So normally they are always ready to pick up their stuff and run.
We're going to find out all that in today's new episode of Urlaub in Africa. But first, so usually we are doing content about Vienna, but in this limited series, I want to take you to a completely different place. Welcome to Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya. This is East Africa's largest economy. It's also Africa's smartest city alongside Cape Town. It's the green city under the sun and also a home to a people who are so resilient, industrious, progressive, entrepreneurial, young, friendly, optimistic, just to name but a few. Nairobi was recently voted the best city in Africa for expatriates to work in. Welcome to Africa. Karibu Kenya. Welcome home. Nairobi, hakuna matata. In this limited series that we are calling Urlaub in Africa, we have lined up several episodes that are going to show you just a glimpse of the vastness of this astonishingly beautiful country of Kenya. And in today's episode, here is what you can expect. We're going to drive you through one of the most vibrant parts of the city center to understand exactly what is the situation of street vending in Nairobi.
These stores are owned by City Council of Nairobi. What it would require for you to have a store like this one.
I think this will be very eye-opening and very interesting. So, let's get started. We are driving on Haile Selassie Avenue, one of the main streets here in Nairobi. And actually what you see behind this wall is the Muthura Market, which is one of the allocated or officially allocated vending zones for street vendors. And that you see there is actually the entrance or one of the entrances to the Muthura Market. But as you can see, there are so many traders who opt to actually be outside of the vending zone, which actually makes it illegal. Some of the reasons known to us is that most of the street vendors get outside here just to take advantage of the commuting customers who are in a hurry to get home or to get to the workplace. And also there is the cost. There is a cost of having a stall in one of these dedicated zones or the trading zones that the government, the city government has set up. But what exactly is the cost of having such a stall? Let's have a look at one of the vendors who's actually having a stall inside or a stall that has been set up by the City Council of Nairobi.
I'm Michael Kimodo. I'm a fruit vendor around Nairobi Hospital. Most of these stores are owned by City Council of Nairobi. What it would require for you to have a store like this one, we do pay a rent of 7,500 per annum. We do pay City Council daily payment of around 50 shillings. They come for the money. We require amount of capital of around 150,000 for you to have all of these stocks. We do buy our fruits from highway range in town, and most of them in Gikomba. For example, the bananas, we do buy them at Gikomba. The most important thing is now here we are near Nairobi Hospital. Most of our customers do come and buy the fruits and take them to the people in the hospital there. Except from fruits, we do sell things like juices, waters. We do blend our own juice using the same fruits. The most moving product, we do make a fruit salad like this one. That one is here. That goes for 100. It contains different types of fruits. On a good month, we can make 150,000. On a bad month, it goes even to 50,000. What influences the business is the weather. For example, in a rainy day, customers are very few. And other days, a common day like this one, the weather is very good. Customers do come as usual. Other costs involved in making the business, it's just that you have to have a shade like this one. You see this tent, you need to have shade for your customers. The tents will range from 5,000 to 20,000 depending on the size. We do buy Kenpoly chairs. One is 700, so you have to require about 10 chairs. We do buy unripe goods, so that when they come here, they ripe very slowly, so that when customers come, at least when we buy them well unripe, we wait for them to ripen. As an entrepreneur, you have to take risk. So the days cannot be the same. You can make loss, you can make profit. For one store, one requires 4 to 5 employees for you to run such a store. And that requires about 3,000 per day. What it requires for you to set such a business, you need to look for a location that has movement of people, and that's what it takes for you to set such a business.
Wow, 150,000 Kenyan shillings? That's almost 1,200 euros a month of profit. That's very impressive. But can everyone afford to have such a business? If this is what it means to have a legal business, then is everyone capable of actually having a legal business? 65% of jobs in Kenya are in the informal sector of the economy. And the informal sector, trading, is among the most vibrant of the activities. So city vendors or street vendors have been in existence in the city of Nairobi for the longest time. And actually they are hawking in the buses, they are hawking in city streets. And actually they've also gone all the way into the nearby residential areas like in the Ngara area, in Buruburu, the areas that are nearby the city center. That's the CBD, the Central Business District. So they have always been here as far as we can remember. So you find that the hawkers are dealing with second-hand clothes, household items, foodstuffs, and usually they lay out these things in hand gunny sacks, which are normally easy to roll up and run off with whenever the city council officials approach. And much as city hawking has become a key survival mechanism, in cases where formal economy has failed to provide sufficient employment, the practice has also been a recipe for frequent, often low-level confrontations between traders and local officials.
Okay, they are running away.
What?
They are running away because of because it's illegal to be doing what they are doing here. It's not allowed to sell on the floor like they are doing. So you can see these ladies are carrying their stuff. It's because the county council usually stops them from selling from the street like this. So normally they are always ready to pick up their stuff and run. It's actually very interesting, the running battles between the county council and the hawkers. But I think to ever stop the hawkers from selling, you see how they are out on the lookout.
Many times when you hear of hawking, we always associate it with being illegal, but actually hawking is very legal. If done properly, it is actually legal. Street vendors are protected by an act of parliament under the Protection of Livelihood Bill 2021, which provides a standard that entrenches the right to informal trading. It regulates areas of conducting such trading, as well as licensing that is given by counties. It also provides a standard for the designation or allocation and use of public space for formal trading, and also the effective organization and regulation of informal traders and the public participation in the allocation of the vending zones. Okay, so we are talking about vending zones, and you might be curious as to how a vending zone looks. I'm just going to walk you in one of those vending zones right across here for you to have a look and see. This area used to be Sunbeam. I don't know if you guys remember this particular area where there was always a vending zone. We used to call it Sunbeam. I don't know how they're calling it right now, but it's one of the zones where the vendors are actually here legally. Let me take you back to the illegal street vendors. Some of the barriers that people face to formalize their business is, first and foremost, the lack of awareness. People don't really know that they need to register their businesses in the first place. And if they know, and when they know, they don't know the potential benefits of registering their businesses. There's also the fear of taxation. There is a fear of punishment for the years that the business has operated and unregistered. And also there's a belief that compliance yields little value for the business, the small businesses or the informal businesses. But there are incentives for formalization that the city has offered to the businesses. So the incentives that the city promises is that there's going to be improved access to finances, improved access to procurement opportunities, there would be networking opportunities, and generally there's a benefit of being a legitimate business. But I personally think that the government could do a little bit more in educating and making people aware of what is the benefit of having their unregistered businesses or informal businesses registered. What is the benefit of actually operating legally in the city? And generally, the financing departments also need to make it very easy for people to access finances, because if you're going to set up a business, then you most definitely need all the support that you can need to set up a business. Coming up with the initial capital to start a business needs to be reviewed so that the mama mboga or the person who will just get up and go sell bananas by the roadside is able to actually confidently be legitimate and sell bananas or sell whatever they're selling at a very low cost of low capital cost.
This is called OTC. This is OTC.
If that's possible, that the people can actually be given financial aid, because I think if someone is starting a business, that's so much better to support such a person than just doing handouts to people. Just say, okay, these people are poor, let's give them food, stuff, the handout kind of an economy. There are people out here in the streets that have little or no capital to start businesses in a legitimate way. And if the local government actually puts a lot of importance in financing these very small businesses, then that could be the beginning of clearing the streets of illegal street vendors. Yeah, that's my feeling. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. For sure, this is a Nairobi that we do not want you to see. Generally, Nairobians we are more interested in the more organized parts of the city. The other parts of the city that we feel like are very disorganized, we feel like this is the more chaotic and disorganized part of the city. Every city resident wants that the city is a nice and cozy place to live in. Every part of the city is a nice and cozy place to live in, and I place that responsibility squarely on the council, on the local government, the Nairobi local government. And I know it's possible because it has been able to do this in other parts of the city. And of course, my biggest recommendation is that first and foremost, put money in the businesses, the informal businesses. If they account for 65% of the employment in the country, then this is very important to make sure that you put a lot of money in these informal businesses and make it possible for them to be able to get registered and legalized, and eventually have a more coordinated way of doing business without having to resort in running battles.
Okay, they are running away. They're running away because of because it's illegal to be doing what they're doing here. It's not allowed to sell on the floor that they're doing. So you can see these ladies are carrying their stuff. It's because the county council usually stops them from selling from the street like this. So normally they are always ready to pick up their stuff and run. It's actually very interesting. The holding battles between the county council and the hawkers.
I hope you've enjoyed that video, and until next one, tschüss, wiedersehen, kwaheri.